Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Moviecast, episode 581. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy,
What's up?
Corey Feinside,
Heyo.
and Tony Kokonakis.
Yo.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners and viewers, to 581 of the Moviecast. This is our of the year.
Not
Sorry,
really.
most anticipated. Our most anticipated. I was clicking my screen away so I can fill my screen up with this, and I got distracted. This is our most anticipated of 2022. We've done our of the years. We've done our worst, best. We've done our
It's February now.
grading. Yeah, we're in February. Oh, you're in February now. Jesus.
Yeah.
So, guys, anticipated stuff. It's going to be good this year. First, getting to a normal podcast, like we haven't had a regular news podcast. What have we been watching? Like, I had to. We'll cover that real quick here. I had to mention that I am watching a Korean show on Netflix called All of Us Are Dead. It's a zombie
Spoiler
apocalypse
alert.
show. Yeah. It sounds like The Walking Dead, right? It's a zombie apocalypse. And it was fed to me like crazy with Netflix. They won. Like, eventually I'm like, I keep seeing it and I'm a sucker for zombie stuff. And I'm like, all right, I got to check out like the first few episodes. So it's about a zombie virus outbreak at a school. So the kids are at school and it happens in their school, and the fallout that occurs for all of that. And it's super violent. It's super bloody. It's like, I mean, and they're quick zombie. They're fast zombies. It's Train to Busan, essentially. They even say it in this. They mentioned that movie. They're like, "Have you seen the Train to Busan?" Yeah, they're like, "That's this." And they're like, "No, it's not zombies." And it's fucking zombies. That's what they were arguing about it at some point. But they do mention like they have like, it's like what's it? They mention like Zombieland. They're like, it's like Zombieland. It's like they mentioned all the stuff in it during it, but it's quite good actually. I like it. There's been a little repetitive, but it's not bad. I mean, it's a zombie show. They're an hour-long episodes. I'm done with episode 5 now, and there's some twists. And there's the cool part about the twists are they hint at it early, and they give you something for it, but they don't go all the way through with it. And then they go through with it, and you're like, oh, it's not just spontaneous. They built this, which is awesome. Like they did a really good job building stuff up. So I do like that, but there's also a lot of coincidences. Like it's people come across things you're just like, that's kind of coincidental, but it's like you would expect that in a zombie apocalypse movie, really would. So, I don't know. I think it's really good. It's got a nice, like I said, it's a Korean, show. So I'm watching it dubbed though, because I just didn't want to read the subtitles. And I feel like,
Jim.
I know, but because I'm watching it, I have it on this because I have it on also at work too, so I can kind of keep watching it while I'm there, and I can't sit there and
Watch
read
it on mute.
No, I like to. No, because I have to read the screen. So I do have some emails come in. I can still listen to it while it's on, and not read the screen. So, but then again, like a lot of the dialogue, it's there, but it's also like you can get it from just the visuals too. So you're like, I know, but it's very good. It's very good. So, that's the notable thing I wanted to mention myself. Mike, you watching anything good?
Well, I know you guys all skipped ahead to the 5th episode of Book of Boba Fett, which is also like
Which is
the
what you should
9th.
do.
The 9th. Well, I watched the.
Fuck this game. This show. This
No.
episode literally makes the show worse. So like, I'm not even gonna bother. Fuck this show. Episode.
Number
Well,
5.
I watched
Yeah,
the 4th.
I didn't watch any. I haven't watched any book of Boba Fett since even though you said to watch that one. I'm like, no, I'm not giving.
Why? It's the best. No, watch. No. It's.
I don't
no,
care
watch
about the Mandalorian. Fuck.
Oh, if you don't care about
Boba
Mandalorian,
Fett,
you don't like
fuck all that.
Mandalorian?
Not anymore. Not after they put this episode in.
Why?
Fuck this.
Why?
I'm done with the Star Wars garbage. The smart Mandalorian crap.
I don't understand what happened here, but hold on, wait. I watched episode 4 and 5 because I have been watching it. Ashley likes Boba Fett enough where we're watching it, and the first few episodes were just kind of boring. But the 4th episode was better. He finally I'll just tell you what happened in the 4th episode. I'm sure no one cares.
No. It's fine.
Because
You
it's
don't
stuff
even have
that
to watch this. Go on.
it's stuff you were kind of waiting for him to do. So these first few episodes, if you haven't noticed, it was a bit like Arrow almost, where he does half the episode is in flashback. And pretty much all that happened in the flashbacks was he escaped the Sarlacc pit and is taken in by Tusken Raiders, becomes one of them, and then they all get murdered by a gang. And he's sad. So that's the first 3 episodes, pretty much. And in modern time, he's trying to be the new Jabba the Hutt, but nice. He's a real nice guy now, which is kind of annoying.
Good enough to be Jabba the Hutt. Sorry.
He's too nice. This guy's supposed to be a fucking villain, but whatever. Anyway, what was good about 4 though is we see him actually just kill people like without asking questions. Because
even that sequence, it was like, I don't know. He was kind of like smug about the way he was doing it. I don't know.
Anyway, so the fourth episode, we see how he finds Fennec. He goes to some like robot parts people where she gets like an augmented stomach because she got shot and should have been dead. So it's like, all right, that explains that. We see him go to Jabba's palace where the Slave One, which he can't say the name of anymore, but it's the Slave One. He goes and he frees that with her, which was interesting. And then he goes and kills the biker gang that killed in the Slave One, which is pretty funny because it was super cheap. He's just in the Slave One, like shooting, like speeder bike gang, just blowing them away. He's like, "Fuck you guys." I'm like, "All right, cool." That's what I expect more from Boba Fett. And then at the end, he basically is trying to ally all of the like underworlds to fight these spice people who were responsible for telling that bike gang to kill them. So anyway, he's like, and at the end, he's talking to Fennec. He's like, He's like, I have a bunch of money because I have credits because I'm a bounty hunter, but we need more muscle. And she's like, oh, we look in the right place, you can get some. And they play the Mandalorian theme. We're like, all right, cool. So now I know what's happening next episode. So then now we watch this 5th episode, which you guys all did too. Apparently Corey is pissed off about something in it. I don't know why.
He didn't watch it. He didn't watch it.
No, I'm pissed off with this show, so I'm not giving it any of my time, even if it's a Mandalorian.
It's a great Mandalorian episode. It's an episode of Mandalorian.
This show, I don't want to give it any of my time. Like,
don't worry about Boba Fett. He's not even in the show. He's not even in the episode.
Makes this show worse to have.
Yes, he does. He's not in the episode. He's not.
It is interesting that they did decide that, like, we don't need Boba Fett to have all of his own episodes here. Let's just do a Mandalorian episode. And that's what this was. This was completely really a Mandalorian episode, but it was good. It picked up not right where we left off, but pretty soon after.
Pretty close to where we left off with the Mandalorian, yeah.
Yeah, and we get to see, what he's doing now. I won't spoil it, I guess, unless.
No, don't.
But it was good.
I don't understand. Like, I'm flabbergasted. I watched the episode because Jimmy.
I told you, it's. And you don't have to watch Boba Fett to watch this episode.
I understand, and I would say it's an upper middle-ish episode of Mandalorian.
Middle. I think we said middle, mid-tier
episode, something like that, which is fun. But I'm really confused. Like, what's the point of this fucking series then? Like,
I don't care. Exactly. I don't care. I've told you don't need it. Just watch that episode.
No, Jim, I agree with you.
I think that episode adds a lot to Mandalorian. I'm just
questioning why we're even doing a Boba Fett series. Like, why?
No,
I think
like when you said this.
I understand,
like,
but Corey, like that. No, it's not. But because that episode was David.
You guys are talking over each other.
I disagree with you.
No, I know. Because disagree all you want, but it's like this makes me pissed off at Mandalorians. Like, you're gonna have this stupid show about Boba Fett that you want to, prop him up, and then you can't even do that in like you give him 6 episodes and then take one of them away. Like, what the. This is stupid.
This is kind of what always used to happen with spin-offs a little bit. Now, obviously, they have like 22 episode seasons. What?
The Mandalorian is a spin-off.
No, it's not. It's its own new show. It's its own. Not everything in the Star Wars universe, like at this point, 40 years later, can be counted as a spin-off of Star Wars. Really, I don't know. I thought, I mean, obviously, yeah. clearly they don't have a whole lot to say with Boba Fett, and I think the future might be Boba Fett becomes a supporting character for the Mandalorian. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting. So I don't know. Yeah, he came back. It was fun to see him again. It was fun to see where he was going. And
this is what I assume happens in this Mandalorian episode, because I didn't see it. He's got Darksaber. He waves it around a little bit. He finds other Mandalorians and talks to them. Or he goes to the person from the original episode with the lady with the mask and says, "What's this saber thing do? What do I do with this now?" And she's like, "Oh, you're the leader of the Mandalorians." Like, okay, dude. And then the episode ends.
Like, I have real
it's not close. No.
I have real
but you're a little out of order, but
you have a little. I mean, I would say you're like 60%. You know, you're 60% there.
There's a few.
I have gripes with this.
There's a few major things that happen that are a little different than that. But yeah,
I have some gripes with this. Spoiler alert for this episode: if you have not watched it, you could skip ahead like 2-3 minutes. But like the fact that it's like there's 3 of them left or something like that, right?
There might only be 2.
And then they just openly fought.
Yeah, they openly fought.
I get that, but that's the idea of their sect of Mandalorian.
I know, but
they did contradict a little bit of what they said right before that, where they compared the Jedi way and their way, and they're just like, there's no attachments with the Jedi to be the Jedi, but he's like, oh, that's the opposite of us. We're all about loyalty and family. Yeah. And then one of the other guys like, I'm gonna fight you for that fucking thing right afterwards. Like all right, let's do this.
Yeah, like the thing I appreciated in the season 1 was how that bigger Mandalorian dude helped out, the thing, even though I'm pretty sure they sparred or fought or whatever like that.
Yeah.
And like they helped. It was about the greater species or I don't know what like group survival than the individual glory or whatever like that. And I felt like that was a step back for that character. But then also it's like the armor just said whoever holds the Darksaber is leader. And then she's like, did you take off your helmet? And she's like, you swore an oath. And it's like, bitch, I'm leader of the Mandalorians. I revoke that fucking code. It's so stupid. I'm just like,
well, I don't know if that's she just said it will lead them. I feel like he's like the knight kind of more than the king,
Yeah. It's also she seemed to be questioning how he got the saber to begin with too. Like she's like, if you got it another way, then it's going to lead us to ruin, But I felt like this episode had some great stuff for where he's going for Grogu. I felt like I loved, and people hated it, but I actually loved the retro throwback of the rebuilding now the starship. Now I get the premise. If I'm paying somebody,
how is he? Wait,
that was so fucking stupid.
If I'm paying somebody
yelling at my TV.
I mean, it's a lot of suspension of disbelief that you do with Star Wars, but
if I'm paying somebody to find me another Razor Crest, and they say I have a replacement Razor Crest for you, and you get there, and it's a mini starfighter with one cockpit and a droid,
Naboo starfighter.
I would be like, fuck you, I'm out of here, I'm done.
Well, this is the other thing. I'm like, so what? He can only bounty hunt very small droid-sized people now.
I don't even care about that. I don't even care about that because whatever, they'll explain it, and I'm sure he'll get like an attachment or some bullshit. But the fact that
a trailer,
yeah, exactly. But the fact that they're like, we need some more nostalgia in this fucking
Beggar's
Fett
Canyon
series. And it's like,
Beggar's Canyon.
You know what? Let's give him a Naboo starfighter because
and then they had him fly through
people.
He flew through Beggar's Canyon,
and
which is like talked about like
right. And it's like this is an example, a prime example of the shitty nostalgia that Star Wars just can't get away from. It's like, why did you need to include this? Why?
Because it has fans that
here's where we're going. Here's where I'm going to say. And again, this ties into my discovery that people like 10 years younger than me love the prequels. That nostalgia hasn't been served too much in the recent big screen.
You want to do nostalgia, but do it in a way that makes like sense or it feels good. Like this is just like, it's a fucking Naboo starfighter or something like that.
Well, I mean, it sort of fits the character, the Amy Sedaris character.
Why is one on Tatooine?
Yeah,
everything ends up on Tatooine.
I love how she's like, I removed the droid. I removed the droid booth because I don't think you want a droid. I'm like, you're setting up for Grogu's cockpit is what you're trying to do right now. But anyway, so No more spoilers. That's been 4 minutes. We gave
Let's
enough
move
time.
on. Fuck this.
Let's move on.
Series. It's a fucking piece.
Tony,
I liked it. I liked both episodes. They were good.
I did too. I liked the episode quite a bit. Tony, what have you been watching?
Besides that, I've been watching this anime called Ranking of Kings.
Oh, okay.
It's
I saw that.
It's ongoing right
Yep.
now. And it's actually really, really. I didn't even talk about that, right? Yeah, no, because we haven't had.
No.
It's an ongoing series, and the premise is pretty interesting. It's about this boy named Baji, and he's a crown prince to this kingdom. And his father is like a full-on giant, and like is like the 7th ranked king in the world or something like that. So it's pretty high. But his son is like this teeny tiny little dude, and he's both deaf and mute. So it's about him overcoming his physical disabilities there, and he wants to become like a worthy king in his father's succession and stuff like that. And it's like a medieval like fantasy type of setting. So it follows him and a friend he meets and makes that's like a shadow assassin creature thing, and it's about some like political intrigue like a la like Game of Thrones. So like, you know, episode 1 spoiler, he has a half brother, younger brother, and that, you know, he's strong and he's, you know, capable and, you know, has all the physical advantage that he didn't have and stuff like that. And then, you know, his younger brother wants to usurp him for the line of succession and stuff like that, and that, you know, sets the plot in motion and stuff like that about him trying to become stronger and stuff like that. But it's a really nice series. It's traditional animation. It looks very like, I want to say like Miyazaki clean, where it's not like, you know, heavy like CGI animated or anything like that. Very like, you know, just painted, you know, cell stuff. I'm on episode 15, I think. That's where it is concurrent. Like I said, it's running and stuff like that. But it's a really good story, really good animation. The music adds to the series. And what I really appreciate is it gets away from tropes that series like this tend to do, where it's like, you know, like the stepmom. It's like, oh, the stepmom hates him and, you know, is evil and stuff like that. And you're like, yep, that's what it's going to be. But then in, you know, an episode or two, you find out like, oh no, she actually does care about him and like loves him in her own way. Is that she supports her own biological kid more. And they even come into like, you know, a character moment where she's like, wow, I've been treating him lesser ever since I had my own kid. Like, she acknowledges this. I'm like, wow, that's like really weird for a character in fiction to acknowledge something like that, because I think most of the time it's just hand brushed away and it's like, yeah, I'm just an evil stepmom kind of thing and stuff like that. And there's other characters that are like that. One of the characters was straight up like hired to kill him, and there's this whole like conflict going on like throughout the episode and stuff like that. So there's things that happen in that series like that makes me continue to guess, and like anything that I think is like completely transparent, like readable, it's like, nah, it's like we're gonna throw you through a loop and stuff like that. So
cool.
It's pretty interesting. Would recommend
cool.
it.
That sounds good.
Awesome. Corey?
The one thing of note I will mention is that I've been watching Peacemaker on HBO. And I have to say, that is a very fun show.
Is it? I was waiting to hear where you're going with it. I'm like, is it going to be good? Or
I've watched every episode, so that's out.
Good.
And, like,
okay.
He's fine. I mean, he's not a good actor or anything, but it fits the character.
No, I think he's a type. So it's like, is it funny for him? Like, is it? He should be funny,
I mean,
right?
It fits the character very well, and
yeah,
all the side characters and supporting cast in this is very good, and the humor is there. Like, that humor is spot on. It's James Gunn, so like it's there. And it's not like you know, people be like, oh, it's Suicide Squad, whatever, but like it's its own thing. Like, that's the
I wish I could get past it, because like out of all the characters in the Suicide Squad or whatever the fuck the title is,
right,
he was my least favorite. And
and that's the thing, is like that's almost the premise of this show, is that he's terrible.
Yeah, he did have some great lines though.
He has some great lines.
He is really good.
Whole bag of dicks.
This you know, terrible person / you know, superhero who's not a superhero.
Yeah, it's like if Marvel made a show just on Rocket. Just
yeah, kind of. But like this, like it gives him a little bit more humanity in here, and you know, there's an interesting storyline. He like shits on all the like the superheroes when he can. So yeah, it's good. Like he does a good job.
I have to
And
check
like I
that
said,
out still. I keep
James Gunn. It's
putting on my
very
list.
funny. So
Yeah, I'm putting it on my list. I keep looking at it like I want to. I definitely want to watch it. So
I mean, it's worth it. I mean, it's 100 times better than Book of Boba Fett. So
Book of Boba Fett's terrible. I still say you should watch this episode for Mandalorian. Just forget Boba Fett. Forget no. Yep. Damn it, Corey. You're being stubborn for no reason. Stop it. Stop it. All right. Anyways, let's get into our anticipated, guys. Come on, let's go. I think we'll start off with TV shows. We'll go movies, and then we'll get over to the Gamescast.
I don't even know what TV shows exist.
Oh, all right. Well, I did TV and movies.
Gonna say Ahsoka or some Star Wars thing, right, Jim?
Well, I don't think Ahsoka's coming out this year, so I didn't put her on my list. No, I did Moon Knight.
Okay.
Well, let me just quickly preface this. I am not including any seasons that are that's already been let's say season 2, season 4, season 5.
Oh, really? Okay, so then I can change my first.
No, I'm just saying personally. That's all. That's what I chose to do because, of course, I'm looking forward to certain shows that are in season 5 and certain shows that are going to come out with season 3.
Well, I can remove Mandalorian from my list.
3?
I can remove Mandalorian from from my list.
Obviously, Corey, you're really looking forward to season 3 of Mandalorian.
No, I'm talking about actually mentioning Umbrella Academy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I can't wait for that too. Stranger Things season 4. There's a lot of great stuff coming out. I can't handle that. I'm going with. So if we did
I didn't even think about Mandalorian actually.
If we did our 3, I did 3. I don't know what you guys did. Did you guys do 3?
No, I had a
few. You 3?
You guys talk about.
Okay, so I did Moon Knight for my number 3 because I feel like that's going to be really good. I'm looking forward to Oscar Isaac in this role. I think obviously he's a great actor. So it's like, I feel like he's going to really dive into this character a lot. And, I think it could be our first like Daredevil-esque Disney show, which is crazy like Netflix Daredevil-esque, you know what I'm saying? Like that style with Moon Knight, very violent. It's going to be not as bloody as Daredevil, but it still will be violent. It's still Disney. But I'm looking forward to it for the darker Disney. How about that? I'll say that. That's what I'm looking forward to it for. So,
okay.
Tony, you didn't make a list, right?
I didn't make a list. I was just going to talk about whatever you guys. Because the thing is, like, I don't know, just with COVID times, unless it's like really close.
Who knows what's coming out, right?
Right. Like I'm just going to talk about what's in the next 3 months or something like that. 6 months.
Gotcha.
Maybe.
What are you looking forward to now?
Well, I say that, but also, at the same time, what was it? Obviously, Mandalorian season 3, that should hit. Should hit. The summer thing. Although I'm a little bit lesser on the series after the season 2 finale. And fucking.
And for me, I love it. But
I know you do because you got Luke Skywalker.
But that's my point. Like you constantly say stop doing the nostalgia stuff. But the reason why Star Wars is as big as it is because of the fans like us, where we want some of that. I want some of that. I'm not saying I want all of that. I want new things too. I do want new things. I don't want Boba Fett, but I want new things.
But you're watching it. You're supporting it.
All right.
But because I want it to be good, but it's not.
Keep it going. We're harking back to the Boba stuff. And I was contributing to that. So
Corey, go ahead.
Oh, sure. My number 3, if we're doing 3, my number 3 would be the Continental. That's the John Wick Hotel.
The John Wick Hotel. Yeah,
it's a prequel.
That's this year.
So, yeah, it's supposed to be. So we'll see. Who knows?
Yeah. I just went with what I knew was coming this year.
She-Hulk. That's one.
I mean,
that could be good. That could be really good.
Sorry to
hurt. Out of all the Disney Plus stuff, that's the one. My number 1.
Yeah,
also.
that plus. I think we're gonna get Daredevil back in that. So.
And that's what we were talking about on our Discord. Is that leaker that is apparently quite big. She was talking about that like crazy.
You don't bring him Charlie Cox to Spider-Man No Way Home and not show him up. So have him show up somewhere else soon.
I think it could be on Moon Knight too.
As far as the Continental goes, I obviously love the John Wick universe, and so I'm looking forward to seeing this what they do here because the ones I'm showing are more of curiosities, like what is this going to actually turn out to be, and so yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how that turns out because it's going to be a young Winston.
I think so too. Mike, do you have one?
I didn't look at TV, so I don't know for sure, but it's probably going to be. I mean, Moon Knight is interesting to me.
And don't forget, we have Stranger Things this year as well.
Yeah, in my mind, I'm just like, okay, Moon Knight, Stranger Things, and Mandalorian.
Yeah, I mean that's fine.
That's
Do it.
probably my top three because that's what I know for sure.
Well, I mean,
I don't think
all the
any
Disney
of
Plus shows we're supposed to get there. There's like a bunch of
what
them.
else is there?
I mean, my
Miss
second,
Marvel, She-Hulk, we mentioned.
yeah, on
There's,
Disney Plus, yeah, Ms. Marvel, yeah,
Secret
Ms.
Invasion
Marvel.
supposed to be this year.
I don't know if Ms. Marvel's gonna make it this year. Actually, is what I'm looking at now,
That might
because
get
that's like,
pushed out.
yeah, that's what it looks like.
Secret Invasion supposed to be again.
Secret Invasion
supposed
might,
to be,
yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I'll try Moon Knight overall.
My second like anticipated right now on my list. I made this list up. Believe it or not, guys, is a show that's getting hype right now, and I saw the trailer finally on Sunday. Halo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm I don't know why, but
people are pissed off about Cortana.
Oh God, she looks terrible. Like I am like I made this list weeks ago when we did this before I saw the trailer, but I was already excited for the show because it's like, let's make a Halo show, and yes, let's make Master Chief our main character because they've tried it. They were going to try it before without that. We might get a little like the books are really good for Halo. Like the book series, like they're really good books, and I'm like, there's a lot of lore there that they could explore with this with Master Chief that we don't get in the video games, and I'm excited to see that on the screen. And the problem is Cortana looks terrible, and like at least shade her blue,
They didn't even get her
It's
blue?
funny though.
No, she looks like a normal person.
But she's like a CGI person in like the real world. Yeah, so
she looks like a real person CGI'd. Yes.
Other than that, though, it
it's
like
bizarre.
looks
Look
good.
it up. Look it up. Yeah.
It is interesting to me that the Halo, like the Spartan armor actually looks good live action. Like it doesn't look janky like you might expect. Yeah. It looks good in live action in a way that I'm a little surprised about. But yeah, no, it's something.
Corey, would you have another one?
So yeah, I'm gonna say I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with The Last of Us.
Ooh, interesting. So we did 2 video games there. I mean,
Continental's not a video game.
No, I mean I did Halo, and then you did Last of Us. We did 2 video games back to back.
I want to see what they do because, like, obviously I am a huge fan of the game, so I want to see what this show is, and I'm sure it's not going to be good as the games, but I'm very curious. So that's why I put it on my list.
It's got the intro. I'll check it out. There's enough story.
My feelings on Last of Us are about what your feelings are on Boba Fett and Mandalorian right now, Corey.
It could very well be. Like, this is not like the best of or worst. This is like what we're anticipating. And I want to see what they do.
Yeah. Tony, do you have anything else you're looking forward to, or I skipped over you? But
Cobra Kai eventually.
If it comes out this year.
I think it's supposed to. I mean,
it should be December 31st.
I think they film them like back to back or something like that, or concurrently.
I think they're already filming it. I think they're filming it right now.
Yeah.
So
that.
Because there's already been like leaked, not footage, but castings that they sounds like they brought back the villain from 3, the cocky guy. Yeah, they brought him back. It sounds like. Yeah. So Cobra Kai is like the show that, again, there you go. That's a show that caters to the nostalgia perfectly, right? Yes. I mean, that one you can't argue with. Like I understand your points of Star Wars because they keep going back to things, but Cobra Kai sprinkles it in so well that it works really well with the story.
It's also more like believable, most of them, not everything, but like it's more believable because it takes place on Earth. Like fucking one city in California. So it's like, okay, that makes sense. It's not like we have this entire galaxy and it's like, what?
No, the other thing is that it takes the 2 main characters of the original.
Well, it also makes you say
what
like
happens to them in the future. Where in the future of Star Wars, we don't get to see our favorite characters.
But Cobra Kai's story is great because Cobra Kai's story is like, I'm a huge Karate Kid fan and I hated Johnny, and it's like, but what if he wasn't that bad of a guy this whole time? And then, so like I love that part of the show. I really do.
Yeah. I mean, on a serious note, like maybe you should do a spoiler cast on that or something like that. But like I actually appreciate.
I can't believe none of us mentioned it in what we've been watching.
I know.
I'm sure all 3 of us.
Oh well, yeah.
Like, all 3 of us finished it.
Yeah, we watched all of that.
We've been with so many topics, but
it's interesting though, this whole nostalgia thing, because I don't care at all because I never watched all of Karate Kid, so I have no interest in watching Cobra Kai.
I mean,
it's a really good
Cobra
show
Kai
by
is
itself.
an excellent show.
By itself.
I was shown the first episode of it. I'm like, I don't care about this. Fuck this.
The first episode is just like bringing you up to speed about like where they are at and stuff.
Yeah, the first episode.
Yeah, I just wasn't into it. I have no connection to Karate Kid really.
That's
other
fine.
than
You don't have to have a connection.
I'm not interested. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not interested.
Go, Mike. You do you.
Yeah, you do you.
Yeah, I mean, my most anticipated. My most anticipated this TV show would be Mandalorian for me this year. Following up, again, nostalgia. It ended with me with for me, and I understand people being upset, but for me, it ended in a point where I'm like, I really wanted to see that. Like, I don't know why. I didn't even know I wanted to see that till I saw it.
Good.
And I wanted to.
You got your moment. You got your.
I did, but it makes me But I'm very excited for Mandalorian on its own. Forget Luke Skywalker aside. I'm very excited.
Well, again, the only issue I have
very
too
excited
is
for this.
That
the Dark
felt
Saber. Yeah.
It felt like that would have been a good series finale, and it should have been. Like, it's hard to see. It's hard to see where to go from here because
now it sounds like they're going to just take Grogu away from Luke Skywalker, and I'm like, because there's no way Grogu's staying with him at this point, and it's just like it doesn't make sense. But you got more Mandalorian lore. I mean, the Clone Wars show is alive through Mandalorian, and that's why, Corey, I liked Episode 5 so much of Boba Fett, because David Filoni was all over that episode.
I don't want to hear Star Wars for the rest of the podcast.
But that's my most anticipated. I'm just saying that's
just talk about why you're excited for Mandalorian.
But that's why. I'm telling you why. Because I'm excited for what David Filoni is going to do for the Star Wars universe, and I'm psyched for it.
There we go.
All right, my goal with my number one and most anticipated is to have this be my most anticipated for next year as well. So it's gonna be the Avatar: The Last Airbender live action show on Netflix.
No, don't do it.
I want to see if they can do a good live action show, because obviously the last time they did a live action show, it was shit. The most shit you could have. And so they have to do better here. And so I'm very curious to see. Again, these are things that I'm very curious. Like, a lot of them are just more curiosity. Like Continentals, I'm very curious to see what they do. Last of Us, I'm curious to see what they do. And obviously with the Last Airbender, I'm very curious to see what they do. Like, I know certain things are going to be good, and like, I'm very excited for those, but I really want to see how these shows turn out, because I know nothing about them, like, as far as what they're going to be. So that's why I'm anticipating them the most.
Yeah. Okay. Tony, anything you're most anticipating?
Yeah, I think we should go move on to movies.
Okay.
If we're doing
Mike? Yeah, I think we should. Sorry.
I already told you. Yeah.
Okay.
It was
movie-wise, guys. Movie-wise, Tony, why don't you kick us off?
I was surprised you didn't say Lord of the Rings, to be honest.
No, not yet. No, I'm not hyped enough yet for it. So, Tony, what about you for movie stuff?
Doctor Strange, just because riding off that Spider-Man high.
Is it your most anticipated?
It's one of them. It's definitely one of them.
One of them. I made a list of 3 again because we were doing 3 for the themes. So Doctor Strange for me was number 3 as my number 3. A late addition because I feel like as time moves us, like getting closer, I'm kind of getting really psyched for that. You know what I mean? Like, it could go anywhere, right?
Yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes, because I think now we're pulling the whole curtain away from the multiverse stuff. In the MCU. And I think all the positive reactions from Spider-Man, I think we're going to get some more cameos and stuff like that. Just be like, fun, cool stuff. And who knows where we'll end up. Maybe we'll get some more references from, Yester Marvel. Maybe get some Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. cameos.
Yeah, I have a question for you guys. Is it dumb to say the mutants have always been always been there, but people have just not noticed them because of
yes, it's stupid.
Some ability.
Yeah.
You think
I think that's fine if you have few enough. I mean, the whole premise of a lot
somebody made everybody forget about mutants, but they've been there this whole time.
You don't even need to do that. I mean, the whole premise of a lot of what happens in these shared universe is no one notices half of what's going on anyway.
Yeah.
So
that's why I think there could be a cool revelation where they have in Doctor Strange too. They were like they're always there, and then they flash us back to certain sequences in the movies, and like something was happening where it's like actually a mutant that did this. You know what I mean? Like they're
if you say like there's 1,000 mutants like in the MCU universe, like in the whole world, you can cover all the characters who are mutants, and that's fine. In the comics, you would get 1,000, but statistically speaking, you would never encounter them. So
yeah,
you could do that.
Yeah, I don't think we need to talk about it though. It's what we're anticipating this year for movies. We should just move on.
Okay.
Someone's got a date or something. I don't know what's going on here.
Mike,
it's just gonna be one podcast, and we got one more to go.
Yeah. Mike, what were you anticipating?
Well, I got 5 things written, but Doctor Strange.
Holy Jesus!
Doctor Strange. 3. Yeah, I know. I didn't know what the hell we were doing. Doctor Strange is one of them, so I'll just mention it now for same reasons. This might be the one that does the mutants. It might be, but who knows how permanent it'll be.
Okay, Corey.
Spider-Verse. Obviously.
That's mine on my list too.
That's
I
my
have Spider-Verse.
actually.
Yeah. Oh, is it number 1?
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, that's my number 3. Spider-Verse. Obviously.
Your number 3? That was your number 1 movie that year.
Yeah, I'm shocked it's number 3. Like it's my number 2, but
my Spider-Verse would be my 5th.
Again,
most anticipated.
Yeah. It's like I'm psyched for this. Like getting a multiverse movie.
We'll talk about when we get to your ones.
It's its own thing a little bit, but yeah.
All right. That was my number 2 as well. Tony, anything else?
Batman.
We'll get to that in a minute.
That's interesting.
We'll get to that in a minute. I mean, clearly, I got to put that.
Mike, I guess Mike, let's do yours.
Mike.
Well, since I'm gonna give honorable mention to Sonic 2. I'm interested to see how that goes.
I'm interested.
But then,
yeah,
Doctor Strange was my 3rd really. So Spider-Verse, Sonic 2, and Doctor Strange are like 5, 4, 3 for me.
Yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to Sonic 2 just because the first one was such a
really good,
pleasant surprise.
It was solid. Yeah,
we learned some stuff. Now let's get it better for sure.
Exactly.
And now you're bringing Knuckles in.
Yeah, exactly. Bringing Knuckles and Tails in, so it's like they just have to continue, improving upon what they had.
My number 2 is actually Thor: Love and Thunder.
Nice.
I'm just so excited for that one because I just like going for Ragnarok and then seeing like Jane Foster coming back into the fold as Thor and like having like Fat Thor coming in, like how's he gonna get in shape? What's gonna go on in there? I'm like so excited to see what they do there.
I saw some leaked promotional art or something like that of like both Thor and Jane Thor or whatever they call the
Thor Jane, yeah.
Jane Thor, yes.
And it looks really cool. I'm just
it's good, that's cool.
I'm excited to see how that plays out and everything like that because I think in the comics he wound up being unworthy or something like that, and she took his place. Right. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, no,
I hope that's the way it works.
Again, curiosity is really what is driving my picks, and like, with Spider-Verse, I'm not as curious as the other ones because I know it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, so my number 1. Are we done with number 2s? My number 1 and most anticipated is the Batman.
Yeah. That's
yeah, I mean Matt Reeves, one of my favorite directors. He did an amazing job with Planet of the Apes, the new reboot series of that. I loved every movie from that saga, and when he took on the role of Batman, the movie of Batman, sorry, not the role. I just was like super excited. To the point where I was
even happier, Jim. He turned down the Ben Affleck one.
Yes, and that's when I was reading that this week. That's what I was going to say. He read Ben Affleck's script and politely declined, and I'm like,
"Whoa, that came out this week."
Yes,
that's awesome. Good job.
Yeah, yeah. So more respect for this guy. Like, I can't wait to see this movie. Pattinson, what do you want to call him? The big question mark. I read more about him this week. He was campaigning to play Batman. He likes to play these freakish characters, and Batman to him is he's a freak. He's just as bad as the criminals, but he has a code. Like, that's the difference. And that's what he loves about the character. Whoop, Mike just gave up. But so that's what he loves about Batman. And so, like, I didn't realize he did that. So he auditioned for the role, and then decided he called like Matt Reeves weekly to find out if they were casting yet, what they were planning on doing. And because he was so gung-ho about actually doing it if he would get the role. Like, he loved the character that much, which makes it interesting for me. And I'm a little concerned about the Riddler look, but we'll see. That's my number one.
That did turn me off a little bit. I was like, really?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I'm like, that's
a slight criticism of like the DC, and the reason I'm interested in this because I want to see Batman represented as a detective. Like,
I think we'll get that.
I just want that so bad because, you know, we sort of got a little bit of that with the Nolan one, but not enough for me personally. But the Affleck version was just like, I was like, this dude is just like not a detective at all. He's just the rich guy on the team. That's his superpower, fucking being rich and stuff like that.
No, I feel like we're gonna get that here, and I think that's what they're going for in this movie.
So for me, it was like that whole Ben Affleck period of like whatever, how many 6-7 years now or whatever. It's been a total wash for Batman, and now it's like the more I say, I'm like, okay, you know what? It's looking better every time we see a new trailer or whatever like that. I'm excited. I want to be excited for a new Batman again because like I'm not as high on it as you guys are, but like still like it's a beloved character. I would like to see well represented on the silver screen, you know.
Yeah.
Or anything. Like, is there even a Batman cartoon? I don't think so. Like, right?
There's one coming. I'm surprised Jim didn't mention it with his Cape Crusader or whatever.
Oh, the Cape Crusader.
I'm looking forward to that like crazy. I don't think it comes out this year. That's the problem. Like Ahsoka and that, I don't think they make it this year with COVID. So, Mike, what was your number one?
Well, I have really my top two, but the Batman is one of them, obviously. Same reasons. I'm actually, again, I've mentioned this before about this. I kind of don't need this right now. I kind of don't want a standalone Batman thing.
Mike, let me just answer this. I'm just going to answer the way you should. It's the hero that you deserve.
I don't know what that means, but you know, I'm looking forward to it. And
I'm going to finish the statement that should have been.
And I hope that it's good, but you know, I could wait. I think Batman could chill for a little bit and it'd be good for the character, to be honest. But whatever.
He's been nice for years, dude.
He's everywhere.
He's always everywhere. It's Batman. It's the biggest fucking DC character there is.
I understand that. That's why I feel like we've just had too much.
You're not retiring
too much turnover with the actors. When you have too many turnovers with the actors, it gets a little weird. And on a related note, I'm actually looking forward to The Flash. I'm curious to see how that goes. That's kind of my most anticipated.
That was on my list earlier.
I'm just so curious about what they're going to do with that and how they're going to, because that's going to structure everything going forward for them. It's going to say what they're committing to, what they're going to, how they'll leave certain things, how they won't leave certain things, what they'll be willing to do or won't do with certain characters. Again,
Mike, I mean, going back to Batman, you get Michael Keaton, which for you, I think, is one of your favorites.
Yeah, that's gonna. Yeah, I'm very curious to see how he's incorporated. I don't know if I buy these thoughts that he's Batman going forward there too. I don't think so, but it'll be fun to see for sure.
I don't know. Better strap in, bud, because I feel like he's going to be
wrong. By the way, all of you are wrong because your number one most anticipated movie should be Borderlands, the movie.
Big shock. Is it going to make it this year?
How could it not be? I mean, they're done filming. They've been done filming for a while, so hopefully.
Jack Black, only one I respect on the list for Claptrap.
Be cool shit, but like, it's got to be my most anticipated movie.
I forgot that movie existed until you just said it. Just so you know, right now, I'm like, never once in the entire time. When you're making this statement, I had no idea where you were going.
Like, what did we miss?
Yeah, and you said Borderlands. I'm like, of course, I forgot that existed.
Yeah, no, that's exactly. I mean, that's the thing. So yeah. It's, like I said, it's probably going to be terrible, but how can it not be like the most anticipated for me? Yeah, obviously, my individual list.
All right, Tony.
Was it Batman?
Oh, we got it.
Spider-Man.
Okay. Oh, Spider-Man. That's right. Okay. All right, that's gonna wrap up.
It's gonna be awesome. So we'll see.
Yeah. That's going to wrap up our most anticipated podcast of movies. Games are coming up, guys. You can check out the bonus round we did for Guardians of the Galaxy game, on Twitch. It'll be on YouTube. This will be on YouTube. Write us allyoungeek@gmail.com. We'll see you guys soon. We're out.